Welcome back to The Reset, episode 21, with me, Sean Tucker, as your host. What will happen in 10 years from now? Who are you going to be 10 years from now? I recently watched a video by Mr. Beast, who literally, and if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, just YouTube him. You'll find out he has 400 and something million followers on YouTube. But he put a video out a few months ago, and that was actually from himself. He recorded a video from 10 years ago. How is my life going to be in 10 years from now? And it was interesting to watch that video because it wasn't incredibly detailed, but it was raw and it was truthful. It was literally him talking about something like, well, what if I'm dead? What if I'm not here? That'd be weird. Right? He didn't really have much scope of what he wanted. He didn't say any goals. He did have one goal, and that was to have at least 1 million followers on his YouTube. And he's certainly bypassed that, but that was the goal that he had. If I don't have 1 million followers on YouTube, I'm a failure. That was what he said. And he kept on reiterating that if he was dead, it would be weird. It would even be weird if he wasn't on YouTube anymore. Right? So the reason I think this is really important when it comes to creating a life that you want, not one that you have, is if you're not, let's say, focused and intentional about the way that you live, you're going to default back to what's safe and what's comfortable. And what's safe now and what is comfortable now will change tomorrow. So your standards of how you hold yourself, the way that you show up, what you do to look after yourself, it's either going to go up, stay the same, or down. And if you're someone who cares about growth, if you're someone who cares about being the best version of themselves, but you might be out of integrity, right? So what you're thinking about yourself and what is actually happening with yourself are two different things, then you're going to slip away. You're going to slip back into comfort and those standards are going to drop. Because what happens when your standards drop and when you let comfort take control of who it is you are, you start to really lose yourself. You start to really let the world control who you are. And you really start living a life that maybe you don't even want to live anymore. And this also can happen when you are so caught up in the role that you play. What I mean by that is the role that you're given. You probably are a provider. You're a dad or a caretaker, and you're someone who will show up and do things for the people that they love. You'll pretty much drop everything and help that person. And if you are that person, the weight of not doing it, the weight of not being consistent in who you are can carry an enormous amount of pressure to how you interact and how you relate to the world. Because if you're not happy with who you are and the identity that you have, when someone thinks about who is Sean Tucker, and the way that I think about is probably going to be different, right? But if I'm not happy with who Sean Tucker is, then that is going to really hurt when I start taking back control and ownership, because I have to accept some hard realities, because who I am and who I've created is not who I want to be. And so it means that I have let myself go to the point where my standards have dropped. The level of integrity that I hold has dropped. The standards that make me me have either gone or they've folded. They've been let go. And this is where sometimes you have people who have massive identity crises who, let's just say that they've been a professional footballer. And then all of a sudden they wake up one day and they can't play football anymore. So what do? All they've known is football. They haven't prepared, they haven't studied, they haven't done anything outside of being a football star. What happens in those situations where the identity just crumbles? Well, there's two things that really can happen. One can be you crumble and you fold and you literally let the world crush you. Or the other option is to lean into the unknown and find out what's on the other side. One is scary as hell. The other one may seem a little less scary in the short term, but I promise you it's scarier in the long term. Because the truths that you avoid now, the reality that you're avoiding now, the longer that goes on, the bigger the problem it begins to create. Bigger the problem is manifested, is felt, is thought of, the bigger the fear it grows, the bigger the monster grows. And if that fear, that monster of you not knowing who it is you'll be at the end of that becomes so big that when you turn around, you're so scared of even like looking at what it could be, then that's a problem. Because it's the fear of avoidance, or it's the avoidance of the fear that will keep you stuck forever. Looking at what it is that you are really fearful of, facing it and being with the feelings that come up, that arise, and being with the reality that comes up from it, being with the reality of doing the work to overcome what it is you need to do. That's what sets you free. That's what's known as karma yoga. The things that have crushed you, the things that have been ridiculously hard, the things that have kept you small and low, that becomes your life's work. That becomes your mission. Because that mission is the life that you've lived. And now you have to make it so that you're not a victim of your own life. You are the character. You're not the NPC. You are the main character. And now you get to rewrite the story. But it's only up to you to take the challenge, to accept the mission shall you choose. No one can do it for you. It is only you who can take the mission, accept it, and work relentlessly to overcome the situation at hand. Because the only reality you're not willing to face is your own. No one has created that reality for you. You've created it for yourself. At whatever level you have awareness of. Whatever very little level you might have awareness of, or a lot of. And so if if you choose to take that mission, if you choose to turn your life around, and instead of feeling like it's being crushed and feel like you can snowball in a way that feels like it's growth oriented and it's optimistic and it's helping everyone else, where it's not coming from a place of just being neurotic, that it's coming from a place of wanting and willing to help and serve others. That's what I would call a magical life. Because that's when you get to choose to be joyful as opposed to being sad and angry and a victim and remorseful to all the people around you. So if you're ready to take that step and you want a little bit more support on what that looks like to you, reach out in the DMs. I'd love to have a chat. I'd love to see how I can help you. And most importantly, I appreciate you listening in and tuning in today. If you found this episode helpful, let's get this out to more people. Just share it with one friend. If you can do me that favor, I will return it 10x for you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode.